Hello, my name is Richard Wisher. I'm one of the lead volunteers at the Peterborough CoderDodo. We ran a full term of live online events last term, and over the summer we worked out how we were going to do the next term. So that's now in place, and the events start this Saturday at 2 o'clock, and every Saturday thereafter until the end of term. So I'm supported by five very able volunteers, and we all work together in a very cooperative way to deliver this. It is a new area. We're working online, so we're wanting to try and help people get online. On each session, we'll be running a beginners group, and in parallel, we'll be running an advanced group. The beginners group this Saturday will be starting off with the very simplest and easiest Scratch programs. So the Scratch program this week is going to be Lost in Space. It's a classic staple for Code Club, and I'll be running a more advanced group, and I'll be dealing with designing 3D objects and printing them using a piece of software called Blockhead. So enough introduction. Let's take you in, and what I do tend to do at the beginning is give a bit of a guide as to how to find it. So if you simply type in the Google search bar Raspberry Pi projects, it'll take you to this page. Select Raspberry Pi projects, obviously, and that takes you into the projects page of Raspberry Pi. So we now browse all projects, and lo and behold, the very first one that comes up is 3D Bug, and this is the project that we're going to do. So if I click on that, it gives me all the steps that you need to do to create a bug. So give your bug a body, flatten the base of the body, add a head, create legs, design your own bug, and 3D print it. And then you just work through the instructions. This is what your bug will look like, and some pictures there about what the finished bugs are. I've actually done all this process. I've got about 30 printed bugs sitting on my desk at the moment. Where we go here is then to the next part, which is this is the important one. What will you need? Well, if you're going to do this project, what you're going to need is access to the software environment in which you can do it, and it's a thing called BlockCAD. So this is the link, blockcad3d.com editor. So if I click on that, it takes me to BlockCAD, and I've been playing with this BlockCAD a lot over the summer, and I really like it. It's very intuitive. It's very easy. Let's just show you what you do. So down on the left, you have all the different things you can do. This is block programming. So these are all the blocks that you can use, and they're all in libraries. So what I want to show you here is some 3D objects. So if I choose 3D shapes, it then gives me some options. So what I want to do is try a cylinder. So if I move the cylinder out into my programming space, so this is where I create my programs over here. I'm not creating any lines of programming. I'm just showing you how one line of programming works at the moment. So now if I all of this is configurable. So I'm now opening up my display space. So this is a cylinder. It's a radius of 10, top and bottom. It's a height of 10. So let's make it a bit higher than 10. 10 is not very big. We want to be able to see it a bit better. So if I say 30, and I'll leave it at that. So what I now do is I go down to the bottom here, and I hit the button render. And what render does, it now produces this object on my graph paper, in my workspace. So you can see with that there, I can move it around. I can zoom in, which of course will make it bigger. And I can zoom out. I can take a picture of that if I want. So I can do all that sort of stuff. Now, once you're creating an object, because it's programming, I can change the programming. So what I can do is I can, normally a cylinder, you'd have the radius at the top and the bottom the same. So in other words, locked. If I choose to unlock it with this keypad or padlock, so I unlock it and I change the radius, the second radius to 0. Now, what do you think I'll have produced? I'll show you in a second, but could it be a cone, perhaps? Let's try. It's a cone. It is a cone. So I can look around that cone and whatever, and I can actually play with it. What I can also do, of course, is change the color. So let's change it to a blue cone. So I now have a blue cone. Now, having done all this, I need to give it a name. So let's give it a name of blue cone. So now I have a project called blue cone. I have the software to control it, and I've created a 3D object. Now, what I need to do when I print it, I need to generate from this computer-aided design, CAD design. I now need to produce a file called an STL file. And you can see down here at the bottom right, I can generate STL. So I've now generated a file called BlueCone STL, and the download is complete. So I now have that file in my operating system. Now, what an STL file is, it's worth this little bit of explanation. When you create an STL file, it's a file that is ready to print. And what that means is that every surface on in minute detail is composed of triangles. And each of these triangles are joined together, but they're really tiny. So it's a triangle, the 3 points of the triangle, and an arrow pointing in the direction in which it's orientated. So these little mini triangles join together to form a cone. And it's that data file of these little triangle information that's fed into the STL. The STL, you then send it to a 3D printer, or you can send, which could be your own, or you could send it to someone who does 3D printing. I've got a friend who does mine for me. And they will print it for you, and they'll print any number of them. They'll print them in different colors, different sizes, different shapes, but it's your design and you can change it. So that's my little tutorial. And hopefully if you'd like to come to our CoderDodo, Peterborough CoderDodo on Saturday at 2 o'clock, I will put the links on how to get there in the description on this video. The video will be up on YouTube. So please look at it, play with it, try it out. It's really easy. It's not difficult. And if you join our CoderDodo on Saturday, I'll be taking you through this in slow time. You'll be working on it yourself, and you'll be sharing with the other people in the group, and we'll be sorting any issues out. And this is really simple. It's one object. We can do combined objects. We can do really complicated stuff. And where I want to get to on this program of events over the next term, I want to get to the place where you can actually print clever objects. So I've got a Saturn V 3D model that I can print, and I'm working on a Mars lander. The Mars lander is on its way to Mars at the moment, landing in February. I have a 3D model of the Mars lander that I can 3D print, and I'll try and show you how that can happen. So if you're interested in this, please join us on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.